This is one of the biggest stories here in like on comedians news because, you know, for the longest time, everybody's been like, is it just me or does Bert Kreischer suck? And it's like, yeah, we've all known this. But what about Tom Segura? I guess Tom Segura had some pretty bad bad incidences happen last year. He like went on a Delta flight or something and like went on a tweeting spree complaining about it. So all of his fans have been saying like, oh, I'm sorry, are we too poor and all this stuff. Like Tom Segura hates poor people. He has the right to hate poor people, by the way, but he can't fix that image of himself that he's created. He can't just go with it like someone like Tim Dillon will. He'll just be like, yeah, I'm rich and my listeners are poor. Get over it. Tom has to have some form of like fake humility, and that whole thing has caused a problem where his fans hate him now. Now, fast forward to the biggest announcement to Two Bears, One Cave, where they've said that they are making their own vodka. So here is the YouTube video of them talking about this. I downloaded a plugin, and it doesn't matter. The whole video is just like an ad. The whole thing's just an ad, but I installed a plugin that shows dislikes. Look at that.
Even the audience knows they're shilling a shitty fucking product and shoving it in your face. This is crazy.
Yeah, we can just play a little.
We'll get to them talking about it.
Outside of the intro, it's the whole thing.
You know, I liken it in honestly, like it's like a version of saying like, do you want to write it or do you want a ghostwriter?
And I've seen people have these types of babies before and have nannies take care of them.
Yeah.
But we want to raise this baby. This is our baby.
We care
This
so
is
much
our
about
baby.
it. We're not just trying to throw shit at you. This is.
And at one point, Bert's like, you got to see the merch. The merch that's coming. It's like the best merch ever. And it's literally this fucking poor os hat in the background. That's the name of the beer or the vodka. And he's like, it's the best merch ever.
That's their name is Osos.
It's like Spanish for the bears, poor osos.
Oh,
so that's
Osos.
Osos. Which, by the way, this is the shittiest looking hat in these 4 hats too. And
Yeah.
oh, this is the best. I just hate. He gets like fat when he talks about things. I don't know. I can't describe it any other way. But you know what I mean when he talks.
No. Fat people do start to get fat when they talk. I mean, it becomes a lot of mouth breathing and salivating and the spit slipping out.
I checked every social media platform too, and all the comments are like overwhelmingly negative. 2 bears, 1 infomercial. And even on Twitter, people are like, no one's going to buy this. And on Instagram. So I guess the next thing following the story is like, what is their response going to be? Because they do this hour-long podcast trying to pitch this whole beer, or I keep calling it beer, this whole vodka, saying it's the best vodka ever. And they do a blind taste test and all this stuff. But like their fans don't even like it at all. They're not going to buy it. So
Right.
I don't know. It's good to see that they're finally getting what they deserve.
I mean, they're just going to continue to be rich. You always say this. I think it was like, I don't know, 6 months ago when you're like, Bert's going to have some kind of downfall.
Well, this could be it. I mean, he could.
I don't think so.
Well, hang on. This is my pitch.
You don't just lose money like that.
No one buys. Well, he's going to have the money, but he's going to die because no one's going to buy the alcohol. So he's going to relapse.
Okay, but they have millions of fans, but there will always be thousands of people that are stupid enough to buy this stuff and to continue to pay them.
But when it doesn't sell well, he's going to break, because he's sober right now. So he's going to break sobriety, relapse on his own product.
What, he said he was sober?
He claims to be, yeah.
Wow.
He'll break it on his own product and it will consume him, is my ongoing theory on the downfall of Bert. He actually cried on some guy's podcast because he was like, on Reddit, they have an over-under on how long I'm going to live. And he like started crying when he was talking about it. So.
Damn.
Okay, so I guess keeping in line here with this news here, we've got Shane Gillis hosting SNL. Are you going to watch SNL?
I will check this out, but I mean, I'm sure I'll see the monologue. I don't know if I'll watch it. I just know that because he's totally caving to the fact that these people got rid of him for making a harmless joke. And the fact that all of this stuff is resurfacing now again, and people are trying to make a big stink of them having him on, you know? It's like, that was actually when he was funny still. That's why it's so annoying. And he's going to go on there, he's going to be a complete pussy and be like, look, man, I said something about Asians, and then everybody will laugh because that'll be him mentioning it, and then he'll move on.
He'll be at the end of his monologue. He'll be like, "Now, if you'll excuse me, I got to order Chinese food." You know, did the Tom Myers? Did you order Chinese food?
Get up here, Bowen Yang, and he has him come up there and he gives him a hug, or some bullshit like that.
Oh, can I suck you off?
Everybody that was ever Asian on SNL is going to go on stage with Shane and
which kind of and it's just gonna I don't know.
They're all going to sing "We Are the World."
Yeah.
We
solving
are the
racism
world.
and stuff.
Yeah.
But there is an old clip of Shane that has resurfaced that is actually very curious. It makes me curious like a cat, and I'm going to show this just real quick if we think this is actually going to be done by Mr. Gillis. Mr. Gillis.
Dude, if I ever get on SNL, I will Bud Dwyer. I'll be like, live from my mouth, this fucking gun. Just,
So we'll stay tuned for that. You think he's gonna kill himself? How crazy would that be if an SNL host just shot themselves?
If it was, I mean, I wouldn't believe that Shane would do it.
Right? Would it be pretty crazy if he did?
I mean, yeah, that would be ideal. Honestly, it'd be great if he brought every one of his friends with him.
Mm-hmm. It is kind of weird. I don't know how to feel about it because, like, on one end, it's like, oh wow, SNL, they need all this hype. You know, they need Shane, but it seems to be like the reality is more of like what you were saying, where it's like, no, Shane is gonna kind of be a little gay on stage, and you know, like kind of play with the SNL cast, and like you said, make a reference to being not to being Asian, but to Bo and Yang and stuff. It is also funny though that Sam Hyde's Instagram handle is SNL, and now Shane is going to be on SNL. So I wonder if there's going to be another Backlash 2 when World Peace 2 comes out with Shane being affiliated. I think he is, yeah.
Well,
so
that'll be the greatest sketch comedy he's ever been a part of.
Exactly, yeah.
How about me roasting Shane? Honestly, I just don't like Shane anymore. I think he's kind of a loser. I think he's just fucking a fat, drunk idiot.
Yeah, but for some reason now he's like the biggest comedian podcast. It's kind of, you know.
What, their podcast? Him and Matt?
Well, not him and Matt, but Shane Gillis is like the most popular comedian now, I would say. Because he's always on Rogan. And now I guess with his SNL hosting, I don't know. I just feel like I see his name out a lot. I don't know. I could be wrong on that. But it's like him, Theo Vaughn, and that's it. I don't even want to say Joe Rogan as a comedian. But
Theo still has some endearing qualities to him, though, but Shane, not so much.
I guess I've never really disliked him, but I've never gotten too into him. The most I listened to was that President podcast.
That was the first part of that was good. The other parts I wouldn't recommend.
Yeah, I agree.